Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second and final game of the night. I don't know if you guys know any of the logos of these teams, but it is Rogue AI versus EleteGG, in case you guys don't know. And before you, I have the maps. We've got Berlin, Bocage, and Gavudu by default, and if this game goes the distance, it's going to be Hardpoint and S&D on Tuscan and Berlin in that order. Now, looking at these rosters, I am much more excited for this match, mostly because there is one person in particular that I've casted many times in my Call of Duty days, and that is Pharma on the side of Elete. Dude is absolutely disgusting. Call him Pharma the God for a reason, and I've seen him tie people in knots, and I am very excited to see Pharma play tonight. Other side, I'm sure, is going to be bringing some awesome stuff to the table as well. But Pharma, I gotta get this out of the way. He's definitely one of the more star-studded players on the field tonight. Rix, also on that team of Elete, is a very solid player in his own right, as well as Wisdom. So, yeah, a very star-studded roster that this EleteGG team is bringing forward, and I am very impressed. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we are going to be getting going on Berlin Hardpoint. Now, I wish I had more things to say about the other side, but unfortunately, I just haven't seen them quite as much as the other side, so I'm speaking from my knowledge as opposed to ignorance. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it does appear that Elete is going to be starting off on the good side for P1, but eventually they're going to need to make a rotation to where Rogue AI is starting off, and that's probably by design. I think Rogue AI probably decided to be on the side without seeing the map bans. This is the side I would want to be on. But Elete is going to be getting onto the objective very quickly before their opponents can even really get in the spot to counter them, but they do manage to find Wisdom at the bottom of the stairs, trades going left, right, and center, and doesn't really seem like Rogue AI is going to be able to break in at the end of the day. Trying to jump off this success. It looks like Wisdom is trying to burrow his way through the middle of the map, which is being quite successful. Knows that Skittles is here, and he rips him off that heady as well, so that's some good mid-map control. Now gained from Elete, and they see he has a pretty good idea that there's going to be there's a few people here. Honestly, a little bit of a waste in my opinion, that push, because I think in my opinion he probably could have gotten on it next, but he has there's still plenty of control for Elete that they have still with how deep Rogue AI is stuck in these spawns. But Awesome is able to get out ever so slightly. If he can catch Wisdom here, that's huge, and he does. Now Skittles is going to be getting into the objective, but Dark Side is going to be standing pretty dang strong. Sees that there's another enemy in the objective, and Party is going to be able to bounce back from that pretty nicely. So Rogue AI is going to catch Elete, despite the fact that they had some pretty good mid-map control going into this. They're going to be able to break out, go from the side of the map, and cut off reinforcements mostly. So, yeah, good recovery from Rogue AI. Party and the guys doing a pretty good job of holding things down, all things considered. And this is, since we're getting close to the end of this objective, it's going to force Dark-Sided to hold the dock pretty strongly here. It appears that Rogue AI is not quite looking to push from that avenue, very luckily for Elete, so yeah, it is sort of a let-off for them. They're going to be able to, pretty much use this position instead to get good control over the middle of the map, but Party realizes this, takes him down pretty instantaneously, and now you've got to cut off on the spawn that Rickster has to deal with, which he does very well. And now, yeah, this could be a very good hill for Elete to come back from. Rogue AI, they had a pretty decent showing on P2, but now Elete, they got the spawns, and now they're looking to hold from them. A couple of pushes coming in from different angles here, and it looks like it's starting to be more jointed together. That's good, but at the end of the day, the trades are going to be going in the favor of Elete, so yeah, a lot of time going in their favor off this objective, and Rogue AI can pretty much do nothing but rotate into the spawns that they have been given. The thing that stinks about this position that they're in especially is that there are so many different positions that you have to hold and so many things you have to be mindful of. It's not an easy objective to hold. It's deceptively easy to hold. There are a lot of head glitches, but if you get pushed on one of them, by more than one person, you're not going to have a whole lot of help because of how dispersed your attention has to be. You have to really manage your manpower, and you have to really manage yourself on this objective in order to hold it down, and so far it looks like Rogue AI is going to be doing that. Rickster trying to slide into his DMs with the pistol, but gets instantly traded on out, but Darkseid getting in there as well does go down to Awesome inside of the tower. So while Rogue is doing a pretty decent job of sort of maintaining holistic control over the objective, they are getting broken here and there. But I mean, overall, this is a very good hold from Rogue AI on the objective, and they're even being so bold as to push out into the middle of the map, trying to get control over both sides. You see Party and Dreamy not settling for just one. They're trying to get control over both so that they can, because they do, in all honesty, have some ground to make up. They're going to look to get moderate control over both sides so that they can hop on for a little bit without threat from getting shot. The only thing they'll have to worry about in a situation like that would be grenades. Not quite going as much as they might have dreamed here, Dreamy, but does get one off the objective at the very least, and Awesome. He's got a beat on Wisdom. Wisdom hopping out the window, though, and runs out of ammo with the pistol. Just needed one shot remaining. You hate to see it, but upcoming is going to be Rickster to get the trade-out kill. So plenty of time on this for Elete, but you wouldn't really expect teams to get a whole lot of time off this or depend on it. But, I mean, Rogue AI is not in the situation where they depend on it quite yet. It would be nice, but they can still definitely make a comeback without it. What's definitely going to help them in this situation is that they've sort of circumnavigated their opponents a little bit, but you see Pharma, Genius himself, is going to be getting to the next objective and making sure that Rogue AI is not going to be able to rotate themselves into a good P1. Though Rogue AI is kind of dusting the rest of his teammates around the objective, but Pharma doing a pretty dang good job all by himself. Eventually, luck is going to be running out, and Darksided be looking to give a little bit of help here in the form of his own. So looks like we've got two people at least on the side of Elete that can do a pretty good job in their own right. Darksided definitely doing the best, though, I would have to say, at a 19 and 13 KD. Definitely getting in the most gunfights, so you would expect that out of them. But Rogue AI, they have gotten to the objective first, and there's definitely some time on this to have them make a comeback. Darksided, meantime, making a flank and is going to knock them off. Good timing, as well as no one from Rogue AI is really in a position to push back in. Awesome, he's close, but he doesn't really have the support of his teammates just yet, and he's going to have to wait. Meantime, it appears that the rest of the Elete players are going to be sort of making a rotation towards the middle of the map and trying to make sure that their opponents don't do the same thing. Pharma getting a little bit lit up. Party could definitely help him out here. Yes, he does. But a good rotation from Elete this time around. Rogue AI, they had a little bit of a hard time in this rotation the last time around, but eventually they were able to get it. So Elete, they've got a person in the exact same spot as was beneficial to Rogue AI, and they're keeping Rogue at a pretty decent distance. The only one that was close was Dreamy, but he gets instantly found out by Darksided. Looking pretty solid with the sub tonight. I gotta highlight that again. Good kill from Awesome. That's a huge player to take out because all of your outside control is now completely gone. It's forcing Elete to get back on the objective with force, and they all get swarmed and taken down. So Rogue AI, great retake. The only thing they got to worry about is with this time left, Elete might just elect to do exactly what Rickster is doing here to try and go around the objective, and what Darksided is doing here as well. But they're pretty wise to it. Very good pickup from Rogue AI. They catch all the rotating players. That's the one thing that they don't want in this situation, is to get a spawn flip out. Because in all honesty, it can be pretty easy to flip these spawns if you can catch your opponents at the right time. Skittles is going to be huge here. He needs to win this eventual battle up against Rickster, because he's going to challenge him for these spawns, if not just the spawns, the cutoff on the spawns. Skittles, ooh, that's a tough fight to lose, and you see instantly it results in Pharma coming into the space that his teammate has made for him, and ooh, running out of ammo. You hate to see it, but still, oh god, those grenades, left, right, and center. Rickster is going to be getting some good kills as well as Pharma, and so status quo has been regained in the favor of Elete, but yeah, it's just not been a really good P3 situation for Rogue AI. All they really need to do at this point is hope that they can get a really good setup on P4, because, I mean, a lot of their time, surprisingly, did come off of P4. It's a nice little crack in the wall, but I don't know if Awesome can actually shoot through that, but he can at least see through it. Pharma, definitely loving his grenades, but unfortunately that one is going to be on his own teammate. He's going to try and get a rotation into the train yard, and he will be spotting Dreamy, putting some shots on him. Kills, but instantly traded out. Main man I want to look at right now is Darkside, because he's in, or on the back. This could be causing some spawn tomfoolery, but it is in part blocked. It is in part blocked by Awesome, but the rest of his teammates getting in here. I don't know how much longer they're going to be able to hold this, especially now that Darkside is on the objective. So yeah, the spawn will now be flipping because Elete is starting to really assert themselves for it. Yeah, despite the fact that they are getting holistic control, 30 seconds left, they will now be in... Yeah, they're finally now starting to get on the objective. Awesome is going to be getting some kills, and that does put Rickster in a little bit of a tough position. Gonna have to depend on Darkside a little bit there, and he does. So that's some good management from Elete. Now Rickster, also got to be pointed out, has streaks going into the next objectives, especially P5. They're probably not going to try and win off of P5, but there's definitely the possibility that they can, especially if they use the streak well, and they can at least force their opponents to overcommit to it, and then transition that into the good P1 control. So cards are well and truly all in the hands of Elete right now. Rogue AI definitely got a lot of comeback to do. You know how I was talking about earlier about how Rogue AI, they weren't needing the P5 time earlier. Now they really do. They pretty much really do right now. At least they need to make sure that Elete is not getting it, and they are. Hardy is going to finally see Wisdom on the objective. 20 seconds is all that is necessary for Elete to win, but it can really come at any time. Rogue AI is still not broken the 200 mark, and they are in a very, very desperate situation. They can really afford to play their time right now. And you see they're just trading kill for kill for kill. And Rickster does still have his streak at the end of the day. So when they do want to go for this rotation, he might be able to use it to his favor, or he's also thinking for the long game, knowing that the next objective is inside. Probably got some intel that his opponents are all on it already, and they're likely to hit with the streak. Might save it for P2 instead for the take on that. Okay, I really need this. It's all on Awesome pretty much at this point. All of his teammates are on the respawn, and now a good setup coming in for Elete. And now here it comes, Rickster trying to put the final nail in the coffin by holding down the mid with a streak. They're going to have to funnel in from the front. 13 seconds remaining. Awesome, getting fried. Skittles instantly trying to get a clap back, but there's too many Elete players on the objective for them to be able to do absolutely anything. They're just getting slaughtered en masse, trying to get a touch. Cardi does do some good work to his credit, but he is the last attempt. It will be a failure up against the likes of EleteGG. We'll be winning this one 250 to 81. 181, excuse me. They did not get 100 point club. I want to make that 100% clear. Yeah, just looking at these KDs, I am very, very impressed with Darkside, and look at him. 33 and 23. That's the most engagements on the map, as well as the most gunfight wins on the map. So definitely gotta be worried about them going into Bocage. I mean, especially because it's more of a sub-friendly map, being a sub-player. You don't necessarily expect them to have the most amazing games on Berlin, despite a lot of the objectives being close. There's a lot of potential for him to get caught out on the rotation a lot, but the good thing for him is that he has some good ARs, enabling him to get to the hill on the routes that he likes to take. So yeah, that's some good things for Elete all around. They got some good sub-players and some good support for the sub-players to get to the close areas. So that is going to be, again, 1-0 into the favor of EGG, ladies and gentlemen. So in case you're just tuning in, you missed the Berlin. It was a pretty dang close affair, all things considered. But Elete, they pretty much had a good grasp on the game for the entire time. They never really lost the lead, although it was looking like the lead was getting challenged for a little bit. It was never properly in question. I think they had about a lead of 30 points for the majority of the game. So close game, but definitely still a strong performance from Elete at the end of the day. And now we are going to be going into some Bocage, or Bocage, as my North American viewers like to say it. Search and destroy, so yeah, it's what's it called? Gonna be a fun time up close and personal, so I'm anticipating another great game out of Dark-Sided, Pharma probably as well. I mean, I've seen this guy in Search and Destroy all the way back since Modern Warfare 2019, so I know that he can definitely do some good stuff in the Search and Destroy, and I'm expecting that out of him. But I don't want to totally overshadow the players on Rogue AI. They definitely have some good moments in there as well, some good team pushes and some good, especially on the P4, where it's not so... It's not like impossible to hold that objective as you just saw, but it's definitely not easy, especially up against a team as good and coordinated as Elete. So I do want to highlight the fact that they do have a decent amount of coordination and know-how when they are all together. It's when they get divided up into tiny groups where they're not able to get the equal trades that they're prone to getting punished by a player like Dark-Sided, who can take on multiple people at once at different times and anticipates the trades coming in. So teamwork is definitely going to be where success lies for Rogue AI on this Bocage. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are just waiting for everybody to get nice and ready on the correct teams, and we'll be getting going into some Bocage Search and Destroy. In the meantime, if you're enjoying the stream, then make sure you guys go ahead and give some love to Chicago CDL on Twitter as well as their Twitch. They be casting these all the time, as well as EleteGG. You're on their Twitch right now. Follow button. It's real easy. You can also go ahead and give them some love on Twitter. Big thanks for them for having me on, and I know that we're going to be having some more casters to join me here in days coming soon, so look forward to that as well. Also, give some love to Elite Gaming. I now know how to properly pronounce their name. Thank you very much. I appreciate the corrections. And so, give some love to Elite Gaming. They have a really solid team. They definitely have a good eye for talent. Mad respect for them to pick up this awesome team. So go ahead and give them some love as well as Rogue AI. They've been putting up a pretty decent performance, all things considered, despite the fact that they haven't gotten a win to show for it just yet. So yeah, go ahead and give love all around. If you want to give some love to me, I'll be feeling very humbled, and it would be at Kamaka, KAMAKA_18 on Twitter. Has things like challengers and a bunch of different things. So if you want to see me casting some more stuff, that is the place to find me. Anyways, it does appear that we are going to be getting in here now with some Bocage Search and Destroy, ladies and gentlemen. You can hear the ticking, and here we go. Based off that last game, if I have to make a hot take, and I love making some hot takes, I would have to say that Elite probably have a little bit of an edge here, mostly in the fact that they have some good coverage of their pushes a lot of the time, and they seem to... And I know Pharma has some good Search and Destroy prowess. They know generally what they want to do. They can make good changes on a dime. And so that combined with their good sub prowess on a sub-friendly map, I would have to give a slight edge to Elete. I mean, God, Elite. But at the end of the day, I'm not counting out the other side. We did see some good things, some good overall teamwork when they do manage to get themselves together from the side of Rogue AI. Team names are switched, by the way. I did not manage to catch that, but that's my bad. Just keep in mind that Rogue AI is Elite and vice versa. Here's that Rogue AI are not content to sit back. They're actually pushing their opponents in their spawns. So Rogue AI, they've got good coverage. Elite have good coverage once again. So definitely not to be messed with. This is not a team that you can just run at on the defense. Skittles, good kill, and might be able to get away with his life, but he's getting pushed on very hard by Pharma, trying to get back within range of his teammate. Pharma jumping out for him and does get the better of him on that one. Awesome. Really difficult position. 3v1, and Bomb is about to go down on A. Does get a 1v1 versus Rixer, but he is going to be second favorite because first shot is going to be coming his way. So we're seeing Elite drawing first blood in the Search and Destroy. I'm not totally going to criticize that push out from the defensive side by Rogue AI. It's definitely not a terrible thing to try and test your opponents and see if you can get away with things like that in the early games. Like, I'm not really going to criticize too much decisions made in the early game, although it didn't really work out for them. The first couple of rounds is definitely getting to know you period, and you can definitely before to try things like that, but when it gets to the point where you're trying it multiple times and not learning from it and still making the same mistakes, that's when I'll criticize you for it. Wisdom gonna be getting the better of skills very nicely there, and another great snipe coming out from the side of Elite. Trying to come through the middle of the map is going to be Rogue AI, however, and the only one that's going to be left alive is this flanking player. So, yeah, actually no, he just ran right back into his spawn because his teammates got killed so hard. He's just trying to evade the Elite players, and you see Pharma, he's already on it. He got a call out, and he's trying to follow it up to its end. It's going to be jumping right through the wall past Wisdom, and seems a little bit bamboozled with Wisdom. I don't think he quite realizes what he's got there. I think he saw him through the window, though, but it's too late to save Pharma, as Dreamy does get the better of him. Bomb is back in his favor. Oh my god. Is he going to try and 360 him? Wisdom, man. I can't criticize him. His first couple of rounds, he's still trying to feel out his opponent, but even so, that's a pretty grand attempt he got there, my friend. Bomb is going to be going down from Dreamy, and Darkside is going to be going for an attempt to kill him. Instantly on away. Gonna be wasting the time of Rogue AI, and in he goes, busts open the door, trying to find Darkside, and he does not have the time to do this. Knows where he is, but not the time to kill him. So at the end of the day, very well played by Darkside to keep his opponent from pretty much from planting or having the courage to plant at the very least. These guys taking turns on the sniper, because I could have sworn I saw a Rickster sniper rifle kill, but at the end of the day, Sniper's doing pretty good for Wisdom despite the hit marker and the attempt at the 360 no scope. But there he goes, gets the final kill onto Dreamy, but Party is going to be hitting him right on back with a sniper rifle of his own. Just kidding. Obviously, I know it's the automaton, but anyways, Darkside going to be catching him out, and Rickster going for a little bit of a flank to see what he can find on A. It's all on Skittles once again. Bomb is going to be planted. It's going right the way of Rickster. He's going to be putting some early shots on him, but the head glitch is there, and it is mean from the side of Elite once again. So, don't want to say I told you so, but I do know a little bit of a thing or two about these players in the Search and Destroy, and it looks like Elite is looking pretty dang good in the Search and Destroy as predicted. Three rounds unanswered from Rogue AI, so I'm starting to wonder what Rogue AI is going to try and do in order to come back from this. Wisdom is coming around the side with a sniper trying to get a long peek, but he's going to get stunned, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for him, unable to scope in time, and so he's going to be on the wrong end of that gunfight. And at the same time, we've got some good coverage on the outside of the map, and in the result of Rickster dying. But at the end of the day, Party the only one left. One holding outside, he'll be left alone on the outside. Pharma putting some shots on him. He's really, really weak, and I'm sure Pharma's calling that out. He's going to be pushing up, and look at that again. Teammate covering him. This is what is putting Elite over the top. When he makes a push, he goes on the angle that his teammate is covering him in. That's something that I can't quite say the same about for Rogue AI. The trade is set up, it's ready to go. Just great coordination all around from Elite. And it's resulting in a proper dry spell for the kills from Rogue AI. Only person that is breaking even is Dreamy at 3 and 3. Everyone else is a 0.25 KD or a 0.5 KD, so not looking like a fun task for Rogue to go up against these guys. Wisdom is going to be getting a little bit stuffed in the sniper rifle again, though, so first blood going into the hands of Rogue AI. Decent A control, and Rickster is going to be getting some solid shots onto Awesome, so that definitely breaks things open onto A, and just like that, Elite, one kill, and they're instantly in for the plant and good control over the map. On the contrary, able to run right through the defenses of their opponent, and again, Rogue AI looking like they're in deep, deep trouble. Skill is going to try and break in like the Kool-Aid Man to the objective, but again, the coverage is too good from Elite. Starting to get a little bit worried about Rogue AI, not just by the fact that they are 5-0 down and they literally need to full sail in this one. I'm looking at this holistically. They've had some gaping holes in their defense, and they have had zero capabilities to get refrags from where they're standing. So even if it means giving up like a little bit of map control to your opponents, it's much better than drawing yourselves too thin and getting killed by superior numbers of your opponents. It's literally a 4v3, but you're turning it into like a bunch of potential 1v1s. So, solution for Rogue AI, group up a little bit more, even if it comes at the expense of some map control. Once again, it is on Party to win this one. He does get the better of Dark-Sided on this one, but always going to see a nade come out from Pharma, and Pharma sees him come out on the way out. So literally could not have been done any better by Elite. 6-0 up against Rogue AI. So only getting better as the game goes on. Aging like fine wine. And yeah, Pharma, easy as it gets. Just your opponent hopping out at you. Can't even turn to face you or move around, do any movement glitch. So yeah. What else can you say? Dominant performance from Elite. Literally nothing else you can say about that. Could be a quick one, ladies and gentlemen. It is already 2-0 in the favor of good old Elite Gaming. Rogue AI, they looked decent in the hard point, but I am very worried about them if this goes into the Search and Destroy. And at this point, even if they literally need to get a reverse sweep, which means if they want to win, they will have to play Search and Destroy again. So, and that worries me, because that performance was so drastically against them. It was completely and utterly in the favor of Elite pretty much the entire time. And even in yeah, I think what I'm trying to say here is that even in moments where it should have been in the favor of Rogue AI, like they get a first blood, they spread themselves so thinly that like they're trying to cover everything and get a lot of intel, but they put themselves at the mercy of their opponents every single time they do that. And Elite, they're not a team where you can just like if you're gonna hold positions like that, try and spread yourself out and get intel. You have to do it from smarter positions, in my opinion. So yeah, that's something that they got to do here. Rogue AI is make sure that they're not getting picked off so easily and spread so thin that one player dying just opens up the floodgates for the rest of the Elite players to just swarm in and get oodles of map control on top of the kill. We are going to be going into a Gavudu control, which is the more defender-sided map. I've seen people, obviously, Tuscan is also a defender-sided map, but Gavudu even more so, I would say, because like if you die on the attack, you have to go a much further way than on Tuscan, and just the size of the map makes it a little bit harder for your attack transitions to be as smooth as on Tuscan, where there are definitely a lot of things you can do to speed up the process of capping A, then going instantly into control over B. A good example of that would be, oh god, 1 second there. Start. Still. Yes, I do. Got them right this time, but yeah, what I'm trying to say here is we saw it from Team Final Strike in the game before, where on a map like Tuscan, you can instantly transition if you play your cards right from hitting a cap on A to quickly getting a cap on B. Not quite the same case on this map. Obviously, there are things you can do to facilitate that slightly, but it's definitely more in the favor of the defenders on this map. So the fact that Elite is starting on that is a good thing for them, especially with the fact that they've been outkilling their opponents, especially in the Search and Destroy. It's very likely that if this does go the distance and go into a round 5, that they get the final defense, because they've been given the first defense, able to get that kill feed going their way early on and force their opponents to be a little bit more desperate. But interesting from Rogue AI. They're going in for B first, but it's not like Elite is not at all prepared for this. Wisdom even bring out a sniper in the control. That is very ambitious, I would say, but if he can pull it off, absolutely do it. And I don't think he would if he couldn't. But it appears that with the not total success of the push, Skittles is going to run right through the objective and try and get some kills in the spawn. I completely agree with this decision, because you're halting the Elite reinforcements immensely, but it appears that Elite is trying to do the exact same thing. So both teams kind of hampering each other's ability to group up together, but at the end of the day, that's really benefiting Elite, because it's just wasting time for Rogue AI. The longer they go without touching the objectives, the quicker Elite win this round. Oh man, Elite just running right into the spawn. 3 of them trying to go for a complete another spawn trap, but Party is going to be getting through, and that does put a lot on the shoulders of main man Pharma. It's going to be getting right on in the back. Oh no! Oh no, Party Skittles! That is the most terrible grenade you could have done in reality. Oh my goodness, that might have really hurt their chances a lot. Obviously, Skittles isn't a great spot to go in, but man, their chances are really hurt. And look at this. They've lost 7. They're down 7 lives, and they're still struggling to get into the objective. 7 seconds left, and they've still got they've just got their first tick. No one really able to hop on either. Awesome is pretty much forced to go for some kills on this objective. Otherwise, it is GG's in this round already. Good kill from Skittles. Just really trying to redeem himself from that grenade. Literally cannot get off this objective. Oh my god. Literally 0.1 seconds left. Really trying to milk the time down. But unfortunately for him, he's the only one that can really get there. So, Elite, very stalwart defense. It was ambitious of them to try and go to the spawn. But I mean, hey, it worked out in the end. Their opponents just weren't quite able to get out. And they were definitely helped out by the fact that Skittles killed his teammate that was trying to kill the player that was keeping them stuck in the spawns from the ship. There was definitely a way for Rogue AI to get out if they were able to kill Pharma a little bit earlier. Just because if they did, there were 3 players that could readily run into A, and the rest of the Elite players were still stuck in the spawns and would take them a long time to rotate. But that grenade, oh, it was so not what you needed. Obviously, there are greater things at play than just that grenade, and one of those things is that Elite is able to find tiny kinks in the armor and make them big, fat holes for them to run through. Rogue AI is going to be able to knock them off of B, but doesn't appear that they're able to manage both objectives at the same time. They're really getting the runaround from Elite right now, and so much so that they're able to run into their spawns and get solid kills like this. Dreamy trying to do some sniper work in the middle of the map, but at the end of the day, you still got Dark-Sided to worry about. He's literally exactly where you want to be, still killing people in the middle of the map. There's literally only 2 people stuck on the objective. They're in a permanent 2v3 now because Darkside is doing this, and he's trying to get this final streak, which he will get. So when they do eventually go into this next objective, and I think it's very likely that they do based on their current standing, it's going to be very likely that they take it as well because that objective is all in the open. Easy to streak someone off of it. Still getting these kills, man. How have you not gotten this guy yet? That is such terrible, terrible damage from Dark-Sided that Rogue AI, it's done so early on that they might not be able to recover. But the one thing I will say is that time is a-ticking against Elite, so they will eventually have to get on this objective. All this domination that they've been having in the life department, they have not really hopped on the objective, so it does put them in a position where they can still lose this round. But obviously, it is very slight. All they have to do is just get their heads in the game, hop on the objective, and, you know, they'll be going to the next objective with a serious life count. So, although it is a very slight risk, it is still there, I have to say. And, oh, man, here it comes. 15 seconds left. They got to get these kills. If Dreamy does get this, oh, that's a huge kill from Dreamy. But another grenade from Skittles might be ruining the round again. 10 seconds left. Oh my god, how do you do that twice? That is so painful. Awesome trying to stop what seems like the inevitable, but no, they're unable to do it. 1 life left, and it is main man himself, Skittles. Everybody able to quickly rotate over to the next objective. Skittles, his objective now is damage control. He's got to stop these lives from really getting out of control. I mean, to be honest, they already are pretty out of control in the favor of Elite, but you can at least help it out a little bit. Those are some good kills, but you're gonna get the disrespect at the end of the day. Getting put down by EleteGG. That's a very good attacking round to get. And you're gonna see it at the end, Rickster with the final kill. The disrespect on Skittles, insult to injury, is bad enough that you nade your teammate out of in a very important situation twice. But insult to injury with the assassination at the end of the round. EleteGG definitely feeling themselves to win this game. And as they should. It's 2-0 in the series coming off of a perfect search and destroy. I don't know how you can't be trying to go for a little bit of the spectacular here. It's definitely justified. Wisdom trying to go for another flank up close with a sniper. Man. But, yeah, Rogue AI, they, again, getting very, very held in the spawn. Darkside is like, I haven't gotten any kills in a very long time. I want them, and he's going and getting 2 solid ones, but Party will be killing him at the end of the day. No one really for Elite over on the B objective, and Party trying to capitalize on this, but Darksided, he knows that something is afoot, taking some shots, but only so that his teammates can know what is going on here. Got some help from Wisdom, and he baits very nicely for him. Wisdom able to get the both of them. Great teamwork yet again from Elite. I can't say it enough. There's just been great moments of baiting your teammates and getting the trade out kills. It's something that we have not seen very well from Rogue AI. And it's one of the major differences between them is just the teamwork that is being exhibited. Finally hopping on A, but it's only one person, and Rickster instantly going to be able to stop it. Time ticking against Rogue AI. Once again, time ticking down until they lose this series. But Pharma getting in on the team nades, but it's not going to be a very devastating one. Or I might eat my words on that. They're starting to pile on the objective. Pharma trying to get back in there and do some work himself, but getting domed. Darkside with a very good grenade, though, going to knock one off the objective, but it's all hands on deck for Rogue AI. They need this. They need this so desperately, and Darkside getting a little bit confused again, killing Rickster, or maybe that's on purpose. He wants to get the glory for himself, kills one, but it is going to be for naught. In goes Skittles, trying to do something to clear his name, saying, don't blame me for this. He's going to try and line up the both of them, but the shots are too shaky, and Elite will be taking the series in damn near perfect fashion. Aside from that hard point, nothing was close, and they looked so dominant. Final quick scope kill from Wisdom. You love to see it. Finally getting a solid one there at the end. Hey, it is ambitious to pull out the sniper rifle in the control, but on Gavudu and with how good he did with it, I'd say it's not that bad, especially when you're having a fun time up against your opponents like this. They didn't really look like they were in serious danger since they started playing in that search and destroy. But I mean, hey, ladies and gentlemen, that's sometimes the way it goes. It's going to be a 3-0 tonight in the favor of Elite. Put on a very good performance, as their namesake would let you suggest, a very elite performance. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I can only wait to see how they go up against the other teams in their group and in the league in general. That was a very, very solid looking performance, but I'm really looking forward to see how they go up against a group like Team Final Strike. I know that Pharma's been on a couple of teams, I think with Rickster as well, with Darkside. I think these guys have been teaming together generally for a while, so I really can't wait to see them go up against Team Final Strike once again, as well as some of the other teams that start to make themselves known. But man, oh man, great game from them tonight. A lot of good moments, a lot of funny moments, but hey, that is all in a day's work here at the Chicago CDL. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for the night. Final match of the evening. So if you want to go ahead and drop a follow for IPG Esports, you're on their Twitch channel right now. Some of the matches are going to be on here, so go ahead and hit the follow and it'll give you a notification. If you turn on notifications, you should do that too, by the way, when they go live with another one of these matches. Also going to be probably posted on the Chicago CDL Twitter, so go ahead and give them some love on there as well. Give some love to Elite Gaming. They put on a very good performance, as well as Rogue AI. Really can't wait to see how they do up against some of the, I would say, not as goated teams. Some people that are more their skill level, I would say. And I think they can definitely, based on their performance in the hardpoint, put in a good, maybe mid-table finish, but that's all to be seen later on, ladies and gentlemen, because so got quite a little bit of a season to go. And lastly, if you're in a following mood, you can go ahead and give me some love at Kamaka_18 on Twitter, at KAMAKA_18 on Twitter. Cast a lot of things, so if you want to see me casting, whether it be here or somewhere else, you can go ahead and follow me on there as well. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for tonight. It was a great game. Not in the scoreline, but in the moments that we saw. A lot of good things coming out from Rogue AI, but even better moments coming out from EleteGG. So, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, bid you all a good night. See you in the next one.